Hi, this is oli-kern from oli-kern TV with Stay Curious. Today I'll talk about how we can upshift or consciously influence the way we respond to new stuff. I'm sure you know the feeling. You are extremely busy, maybe a little stressed already. Maybe you are also lacking some sleep because your kids crawled over you this night and you didn't catch much sleep, as it happened to me quite a bit. Then your colleague or friend comes along and tells you about his big new idea that you must help him with. You already feel it rising in you. It may be a feeling somewhere on the scale between "Oh, leave me alone!" up to "Hey, this makes me really angry." Or, to put it a little more subtle, in a meeting, someone rises a new thought, a project, or simply an idea. The first thing that comes back from the others is often just critical judgment. What is happening? Well, humans, like alligators and reptiles in general, have a brainstem. This is the part of your brain that controls our fight and flight reactions. Triggered by this brainstem, our natural reaction to newness or new ideas is to eat, attack, or run. Of course, this is usually a killer to creativity, innovation, and your own curiousness. Imagine you were in full control of those mechanisms. Your brain went through 3 evolutionary stages, and all of them are still at play in you. In the 1970s, a neuroscientist named Dr. Paul MacLean proposed that the human brain is made of actually 3 separate brains. The oldest part, the brainstem, or the reptilian brain, manages our basic instinctive and survival responses. Somewhat newer is the second layer, called the limbic brain. Now, the limbic brain handles emotions. And then the third layer, the most recent to evolve, sits on top of those other 2 layers. It's called the neocortex. The neocortex is where reason, language, memory, and creativity reside. You may spend a lot of time in your neocortex, acting reasonable and being really creative. But when you encounter a sudden threat, your survival instincts kick in. You automatically downshift right into your instinctive reptilian brain. We call it our gator brain, where your instincts tell you fight, flight, or freeze. You're angry. You're speechless. You flinch. All of those are downshifts. Be aware that when you downshift, you momentarily lose access to rational and creative thinking. So how to resolve this dilemma? It's quite simple, but not so easy to do. You just proactively upshift. Remember to ask for the sudden threat that triggered your downshift. What was it? It could have been some physical threat to your safety, which fortunately is quite rare nowadays, but it could just as easily have been a new idea that threatened to change the status quo. Maybe the idea of your colleague. So how can you actually upshift? It can be as simple as taking a deep breath or counting to 10. This sort of mindful exercise gives us better access to our best thinking, where we can learn, where we can create and succeed. Think about what that means when your fellow employee shares a new idea at the weekly staff meeting. Her idea might be useful someday, but at first blush, everyone at the meeting is more likely to focus on the novelty and the threat of change it represents. We are just hardwired to do that, especially when I was tired with my kids keeping me awake all night. I found this particularly challenging. But this knowledge helps me. So my key message for today is Upshift. And I hope this was really useful. As always, stay curious and keep smiling.